here are 3 design tips that will enable you to design like a pro. Alright, so if you're a designer or beginner in designing and then you just want to dive in to create better looking design, the first thing I want to tell you is this: creating to design so better goes with a lot of practice. And in practicing, I want to share with you 3 tips of which you can always implement throughout when you are designing. First tip on the list is to always keep your design simple. Now, keeping your design simple is one of the utmost ways by which you can improve your design. Designing is not all about packing all these new design trends into one single design, but now just taking one design trend of which you know best or know better, doing so much research about it, and then implementing it in a very simplified way, in such a way that even your kid bro back in the primary should be able to go through your design and understand what information you are trying to convey in that specific design. A cluttered design can be overwhelming and confusing for the viewer. Instead, focus on creating a clean and simple design that is easy to understand. Use white space to your advantage and make sure that your design elements are easy to distinguish from one another. Remember, less is often more when it comes to design. So if you want to implement your design in such a way that your viewers will be overwhelmed when they look at your design, you have to use the keep it simple design rule. Now, second design tip on the list is use colors strategically. Actually, I for one am not always a fan of, I'm not kind of that talented in working with colors so much more, but I tend to use design tools such as Adobe Colors to get good colors for my design. So what you basically do, or what you basically have to do, is just to take your color of which you want, maybe your main color of your website, you put it into the wheel, and then it gives you many other colors that you can use for your design. Colors as a whole is a very crucial part inside of design because one, colors call attention to specific elements inside of your design. So if you're trying to implement your design, colors can be a powerful tool in design, but it is important to use it wisely. Choose a color palette that complements your brand or message, and use it consistently throughout your design. Use colors to draw attention to important elements or to create contrast between different parts of your design. And remember too that too many colors can actually be overwhelming. So stick to a few colors for the best effect. If you just end up compiling many colors together inside of one design, I bet you your design will be so much poor. Lastly, pay attention to typography. Now, typography is one of the things that actually guides your viewers or visitors to your design on where to look and what to observe first. So if you do not kind of implement your typography, so much more your viewers or visitors to your design or users of your design will be kind of confused of what to do, where to go, and how to do it. Typography comprises a lot, but most often when it comes to typography, you just have to understand how to place your elements and kind of create a hierarchy within elements that users can kind of read through your designs very easily. Now, typography can make or break a design, so it is important to choose the right font and use it effectively. Make sure that your font is easy to read and appropriate for your message. Use different font size and styles to create hierarchy and emphasize important information. And don't forget about spacing. Proper spacing between letters, words, and lines can make a big difference in your readability of your designs. And most often when I use typography, I always use say 32, 24, 16, 14 pixels in terms of my sizing. And also when it comes to my spacing in my design, I always stick to the 8-point grid spacing, of which there's a video dropped by UX Chili where she explains about this 8-point grid system, and I actually do love the video because it helped me so much more to kind of work on my designs with the 8-point grid system. So you can check the video in the description to watch that. Right, so there you have 3 design tips: keeping it simple, use colors strategically, and also pay attention to typography. All right, so if you're still a beginner in design, make sure to watch this upcoming video. Thank you, and see you guys in our next tutorial.